token, the scene has to have certain principles and abide by them in order to make it more interesting and entertaining. It's not, believability is by far the most important thing, but it's not everything. This scene, if you think about the arc of it, the intensity, having a beginning, middle, and an ending, every song has a beginning, middle, and an ending. So does every scene, just the same way a song does. Your song went like this. And the audience is going, did the song end? What happened? There was no climax. Or the climax happened a long time ago, and now we're just sort of hanging on. Does that make sense? You have to plan your performance. Okay? In other words, we know that the end of the scene is where we're going to have the most intense, the big explosion. I always tell people that a scene is like a fireworks ceremony. And we end it lighting up the sky. We don't end it with sparklers, right? Or little charcoal snakes. We don't do that.
I love those charcoal snakes.
Yeah, but we don't end the ceremony with it. Woo! Happy 4th. What is this? Right? So that's what happened, is that you had these big booms and then you went down. And then big boom and then down.
Yeah.
Instead of letting the scene build towards this big climax, big crescendo. You're both musicians. This should be easy. As long as you talk about it first and go, okay, wait a minute. How am I going to pull this off? Well, one way is by reminding yourself that things are getting worse for both of you. In other words, the stakes are going to go higher. If what he says to you bothers you more and more for different reasons, then it's going to amp you up, is it not? Mm-hmm. Because in the beginning, he's not doing his job, right?
Right.
He's fucking around. He's like, this is my life here. Give me the quan, give me the money, give me the right?
Right.
So you win. Until he starts saying that stuff near the end. When he's like, the whole thing about being a football player and all that stuff, that's when it's going to really build for you because he's right.
Okay.
And then you have this sort of gone from this sort of arrogant, pompous, aggressive guy to suddenly this open, vulnerable, flawed person who realizes I'm flawed for the first time and I need him. Because he's going to bring me back to why I play football. What do you think?
No, I agree.
So you have to remind yourself in the scene, that's where this thing's going. Know that by, if the scene is 3 minutes long, in the back of your brain, you're going to think, okay, if it's 3 minutes long, probably about the last 40 seconds of the scene should be the big boom. Early's right around it.
Yeah.
I get a technique. So the technique starts with an objective. And an objective is what a character wants or needs in the scene. Like my objective right now is to teach you. And that's what's driving me to speak. The way an objective works is a two-step process. It's a phrase that we repeat over and over in our brain. So if my objective was to teach you, I would start with the objective. And you'll read about this more in the textbook that we use in the school. But we would start by picking a phrase like to teach. And I would start repeating this objective in my head, to teach you, to teach you, to teach you, to teach you. It keeps me rooted in the scene and fighting for something. I'm fighting to teach you. Whenever you have an objective, it means you're trying to do it. You don't accomplish it, you're trying to. Because once you accomplish it, the scene will die. Because you'll have nothing to do. So the first step of the process, when I was talking to you in the lobby over there, when I said to you it's a two-step process, we have preparation and executing. So the preparation part is when I'm going to iron the objective into the scene, when I'm consciously thinking to teach you. So I'm going to run the scene a couple of times, thinking to teach you, to teach you, to teach you, to iron it in so I can get myself on the right groove of what I'm fighting for in the scene. But then the next step is going to be when I'm just going to let go and start reacting to you. And hopefully my brain will remember the objective without me thinking to teach you. Okay? So right now, I'm not thinking to teach you, to teach you, to teach you. It'd be really weird, right? It'd be very pushed. So it'd be like thinking the notes as you're playing.
Right.
So we're going to learn the notes first, and that's the to teach you, to teach you, to teach you, to teach you, to teach you. And now let's just play. And hopefully your fingers do what they're supposed to do. But in a sense, at least in my opinion, when I'm singing or I'm playing, I don't play so much anymore, when I used to play the guitar to the crowd, what is causing me to play when I'm executing the song is the crowd, if I'm doing this right. The crowd is inducing me to connect to the song. And that's why you see some people get so emotional, because they're receiving something that's causing them to go there. Why do I start crying when I see certain musicians sing? what's that about?
I get that way too.
Yeah, because they're not performing it. They're reacting to something that's causing them to engage, and you connect and you go, fuck, I've been there, or whatever, right? Same thing here. You have to have an objective to pull us in and connect with you as an objective also will keep you guys rooted in the scene. So whenever we have a scene, we have to figure out what the objective is for the character we're playing. And it can change. And it's not going to change every line. It's only going to change when there's new information or a new event. So what is your objective in the very beginning of the scene? Is something that you're fighting to get. That's hard to get. So what would your objective be in the beginning?